So the talk, Timo asked me so last week, so can you tell you the guys here something about robust Mongo config? I said yes. He also asked me, can I talk in English? I said, whoa. It's a little bit, that's 5 years ago that I've spoken last time English. So I will try it, yeah? Or can anybody speak German here? Oh, no? Just English. Okay, then I will try it. And so, okay, my name is Oliver Otzen. I work for Hippoport AG. It's a company for financing properties. It's a very local German market, a very German domain. Okay, and we started the platform we built on. This platform is called Europace 2, Europace 2. And we started 2010, and we decided to take MongoDB in 2010, so very early. Good, and we had a little bit hassle with MongoDB in the beginning, for example, production usage, and that's what I talk about today in my talk here. Okay, so we use MongoDB as primary database for our document-based data. We also have Oracle database, and we have LDAP, and I've also tried other databases, but the main database is MongoDB. And we have organized the MongoDB in a replica set. Like you can see the trains here, master, slave, slave. In 2010 we have started with legacy repositories. We don't use Spring Data at this time. And in the night, so we have switchovers, master-slave switchovers, because the operation guys make backups in the night, so they shut down our virtual servers. That's what I forget to say. We have started with virtual machines based on an ESX host. I think everybody knows ESX host. And sometimes ESX host was going down, or the storage, the NetApp storage was going down, and then we have a switch over, and this causes us a lot of trouble. So the trouble was, the easiest thing was we had a lot of exceptions in the log when we drive the switch over. Okay, that's we can handle it, but sometimes the client, the repository, have to handle these exceptions. Every repository, every method have to handle these exceptions, and sometimes new exceptions arise up. The client has forget to handle the new exceptions, and what's happened? The exception was not catch at the client side, was moved to the front end. The customer get an error message, so Applikation ist vorübergehend nicht erreichbar. Application not accessible, or some server error occurs. This gives us the instability, and the customer sees some errors. That's not what, just wasn't what we want. So the idea was to collect all these exception and retry mechanism we have written in the past for the old legacy repositories, put everything in a base class. So the classic way. That was working okay. And then we have started with Spring Data MongoDB. And in this Spring Data MongoDB, all the exception and retry mechanism doesn't work. So it's completely different. So, and then we have tried to put everything together and try to use our retry mechanisms and exception translation also for the Spring Data repositories. So, and what we don't want was another dependency in our project. So, if the base class has a dependency to Spring Data, to the Mongo driver, and all dependent projects get all the dependencies, and that's what we don't want. So that we have said, okay, we make a blueprint copy and an easy class for use in every project. That was working good. We also have started with microservices and other services, also with MongoDB database in the background, a storage engine. And for this, it was easy to adapt the Mongo configuration and the robust Mongo config. And it was an easy setup for every microservice, and that's what we want. We want to start a microservice very fast, and the Mongo setup is one part that just must work. Also, we decided to put this robust Mongo config to GitHub to make it visible for everybody. It's free to use. And we hope also that we get ideas from other people so that we can improve the code. So how does it integrate? So at the top we have the Spring Data repository. The robust Mongo is a very thin layer on the top of Spring Data Mongo. And at the bottom we have the Java driver, the Mongo Java driver. Here's a little flow chart. It's readable for everybody. So we have a repository we call a save. We save an entity. We call it execute at the Mongo template. Just this case is the Mongo template with retry. The retry instantiate a retry object, and the retry objects executed the real call at the Mongo template. In this case, we see here's an exception, and the retry just repeats. If it's successful, then we get this await egg, and we have the entity saved. So you can see here, you can just replace the normal Mongo template with the Mongo template with retry. It's straightforward. What's in the box? Yeah, it's easy, 2 classes. One is the configuration example. And in the configuration, it's at one time, I think anybody knows the Mongo configuration. It's you have to configure the Mongo itself, the Mongo template. In this case, we want to use Mongo template with retry. And we override the MongoDB factory so that we can configure in the exception translator. The Mongo template with retry consists of three sections. One section is the repeatable database action, the retry self, and the exception translator. So now I will try to go into the code. I want to show you the stuff. Oh, it's not here. Okay. Is that readable? So, okay, that's the Mongo configuration. That depends on the client needs. So if you have your bare metal server, if you have a data center, or if you have a cloud service, so then you have to set up here other values that it performs good, and that's the typical Mongo configuration here. So that's the Mongo template. this overwritten here. Here you see the Mongo template with retry. Okay, that's a little option, log Mongo warnings, false. So if I want to see if a failover or if Mongo connection is interrupted, so then I can set it to true and it will be logged. The third part is the MongoDB factory. And it's the point where I get the exception translator. It's an inner class of the Mongo template with retry. So that's the point where the exceptions, Mongo exceptions and Spring Data exceptions will merge together and will be translated. Mongo template with retry, it's here. It's a little bit small here. So. Okay, so here this part, this is the execution of the Mongo actions. This here you can override other actions. That's just example. You can also do save, override, do save, or do update or whatever. It depends on the repository. These are just the standard actions. This is the internal retry class. It's a little class, and in this class, the action perform, and we have the action perform method. We make a little sleep so that we, if we have a lot of requests to the MongoDB, that we don't blast the server. We make a short break and wait 1 second, so then we try again. And this is the last part. This is the exception translator. And there are several different exceptions from MongoDB. So network exception, so I think anybody has seen DB port connection interrupted or something similar. Or sorry, I don't have a master. No master replica set found, for example. Or no replica set members available. It's interesting. All exceptions we have catched in the last time we have collected here. So, this is the Spring exception translator. Spring also translated some exceptions. Okay, and that's all. So. Okay. Quick. Okay, let's start a live demo. So. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I start a replica set. It's a Docker container, 3 Docker containers. So replica set is running. And here I have a simple test. I can't see anything here. Sorry. Wo ist er? Ah, jetzt. Okay, doch hier. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is simple test here. I just write entities here. I have a so many mouse. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, this thing is writing sample entries. I have a little sample Spring Data repository called save. And if I find my here we are. No, here. Okay. Second. Okay. So now I will kill the master, and we see here in the background here there's an exception. It's a little bit difficult to see, huh? I don't know. So here we have a typical Mongo exception: network operation on server failed. It's a network issue. It's just logged as information message. So we have this several times a day, but the test is still working. So the exception, so the test is writing again and again. Now I can bring up the master back. And I can kill another one. Oh, stop. Another exception. Okay, it's the same exception. That's still working. So, okay, no. Oh, I will stop the test. And then I will show you what's happened if you don't have if you have a generic use of the Mongo template. It's the same test, just on a little bit different setup. Okay, it's working fine. Let's see which one it is. That's looking. I think it's number one again. Oops. We will see funny exceptions, a lot of it. And the test is broken, and the application, this exception will be thrown to the front end. And that's what we don't want. Okay. The usage is very simple. Just configure a Mongo, the template and the DB factory. Add the Mongo template with retry to your project and extend it for your needs. So, and then use a Spring Data repository like ever. Is there any questions? Okay. Then, thank you very much.